Hi all, in this session we are going to learn in detail about how to manage basic workflow in Azure Boards. In the last session we had already discussed how to create project with basic work item process. If we create the project with basic work item process, by default we will get three work items. What are those? Epic, issue, task. And along with that we will get some kind of Kanban board as well with three states. What are those states? To do, doing, done. These things we had already discussed in the last session. So let us more explore about the different sub services in the boards. So I'm going to quickly log in into the dev.azure.com in order to understand in better way. So just click here, dev.azure.com. It will be redirected towards the my project. Here just click on the Azure Devops. It will redirect you to the home page. There you just need to select the which organization you want. Right now I just want to select SBA application dev. Just click on it. Then you will be in the SBA application dev organization. In this organization you have two projects are there. Work item basic, the project one. Here in the last session we had worked on the work item underscore basic. So in this session as well I am going to use this same project. So just click on the work item underscore basic, go to board service. Inside board service you have n number of sub services are there, like work item subservice, board subservice, backlogs, sprints, queries, delivery plans, analytic views. Fine. So here I am going to click on the work items. Here, as I told you earlier, what are the different types of work items are available? Epic, which is in yellow chrome, issue, which is in green cylinder, task. And issue will be created under epic. Task will be created under issue. But the basic difference between these is the epic and issue are independent standalone work items. But task is not a standalone work item. Task is always need parent. Means the task, if you had task, then issue will be there. If we have issue, then only we can be able task. Means task is purely dependent on the issue. It is not a standalone work item. But the epic and issue are standalone work items. We had already seen in the last session how the work is flow. The epic is a major work item, and under the epic we have issue, and under the issue we have task. So I am going to show to you again how we are going to make each and everything. Just go to boards. Here I am going to, yes. So right now I have one epic. So under epic I have two issues, issue 1, issue 2. So in this way we can be able to create epic issues. So here I am going to create one more epic. How I will be able to create? So here also as well, from the boards as well I can be able to create epic. How that will be, I am going to show to you. Just here new item is there now. Just click on new item. Here what I am going to develop right now, SBI credit card. Add to top. This is the epic. Suppose it is a workable, epic is also a workable component which takes major time in order to complete it. So under epic we have lot of issues are there. So under issue we will be have tasks. So just click on the three dots which is available on the right side top of the epic, and if you want to add title, just click here, add title. Otherwise if you want to move to iteration you can. If you want to add issue, I am going to add issue. Here issue is what? User registration is one issue. User forgot password is another issue. CC apply is another issue. CC renewal is another issue. There are a lot of issues are there. So here you just, from the board you had created the epic. Under the epic you had created the multiple issues. If you want the same in the work item process, just go to the work item process, just check the SBI credit card epic has been created or not. Yes, and the user registration, user forget password, CC apply, CC renewal. These are the issues. And if you go to the boards, here where you are in epics, and the SBI credit card epic is in which state? It is in the planning state only. So that's why we just made in to do state. Suppose if you go to the issues here, then you can be able to find here how many you have. There are a lot of work items there. So, but if you observe, there are things, 3 login modules. There are different types of there. And here go to here CC renewal. This is the issue which we had created under what? SBI means CC card. So here just click on it, and here no one is allocated. I am going to assign it to the Suneel Cloud IT Tech, and it is going to state as to do. And if I want to add any reason, I can add reason. And if you want to make any description, CC renewal team need to work on this. So I am going to save and close. So once I click on save and close, if you observe here, then it will be replicated here. Suppose if you want to change the status of the priority, you can change it accordingly. Go to 3, whatever the priority you want. As I told you earlier, lower the number, higher the priority. Generally we have priority 3 only. Okay, save and close. And if your manager is looking, if you have any kind of emergency work is there and is the task need to be finished as soon as possible, then your manager can be able to follow on the particular issues or tasks by clicking on the follow. And there are a lot of characteristics which has been involved along with the tasks. What are those? State. Currently the issue is in which state? It is in planning stage or working stage or finishing stage. So here state indicates it which stage it is. Area, in which area it is, work item underscore basic. So it is kind of basic work item process. So that's why it is showing as work item basic. And by default, one sprint will be created. If we create any epic, by default one sprint will be created. By default it will move into sprint 1. Suppose what we had discussed, in a project development or application development, there is a kind of Scrum meeting is there. What do you mean by Scrum meeting? All teams engage together on daily in order to track the progress, in order to discuss about the project, how the project is going on, is there any blockages, is there any dependencies, is there any issues, when to complete. There is a kind of something stuff is going on between the teams. They are going to discuss their problems and they are going to discuss their successes as well. So this is nothing but a stand-up meeting or Scrum meeting. Along with the Scrum meeting, we have sprint planning as well. Sprint is nothing but a time frame. So whenever we have some kind of time frame, like while doing project, we are not going to have unlimited time. We have some kind of dedicated timelines is there. So based on the timelines only, we need to finish that particular project. So generally the sprint planning is for 2 to 3 weeks. Each module or task or issues or epic will be considered as one sprint planning. Suppose if I have one epic which needs to be completed in 6 months, in that epic I have n number of, suppose 10 work items are there which are issues. 10 issues are there. Out of 10 issues, 5 issues I need to complete within the 2 months. But unexpectedly, out of 5 items within the 2 months, I can be able to complete the 4 items only. Then one item will be what? Backlog. So it will fall under backlog. If any work is not completed as per the sprint planning, it will be considered as a backlog. If you finish the work within the time sprint, within the sprint planning time, that will be called as work done. And just go to backlogs. Here there are a lot of backlogs are there, and here you can check in backlogs. So just go to here, the login module, the task 1 task is going to do the task 1 login module is allocated to Suneel Cloud IT Tech. And issues, there are a lot of things are there. And analytics, You can make some kind of analytic diagram based on the work items which you had created. And suppose click here and yeah, you are doing so, just move to iteration. And before that I am going to create one sprint. So up to now we didn't have some kind of discussion with the sprints. Here I am going to create one sprint planning. So create new item, sprint, sprint new, sprint new planning, and just open the sprint new planning, and it is doing. So just a moment, here sprint is there, sprint new planning. Where is sprint new planning? All team sprints. Okay, the sprint new planning, just click on here, and here you just need to set some kind of timelines. So where we will be there, so here I will get the option generally. Sprints, okay, set dates. I'm going to set the sprint one with the time frame, which is this. I'm going to set for 21st of April to, generally it is for 2 weeks. 2 weeks will be considered as a 10 business days, means 2 days as off now. So here I'm going to consider as Friday, basic work item. Okay, so then the sprint will be created. Here are you able to observe the sprint one? In this way we can be able to create the sprints. Here if you observe, the sprint one will be start from 21st April 2025 to 2nd May 2025. So if we consider 2 weeks of time, in these 2 weeks we have total 14 days. So by leaving 4 leaves, means holidays, Saturday, Sunday, we will consider 10 business days. So in order to complete this tasks or issues. So queries, if you have any queries, suppose if your team is working on the project and they have some queries while they are going to develop the project, at that time they simply place here query here. So based on the query we can get the required output. Suppose if I want to get the thing, so what are the work items which has it completed between these 2 days in a specific interval of time, and what are the work items which is pending. So based on the queries which I had mentioned here, it is going to provide the exact output, like filtration in Excel and delivery plans. So you have any plans, you can plan here. What are the delivery plans you have as per your project requirement, you are going to mention here. Accordingly the team will follow the development of project accordingly. And simply we need to understand here what is work item. Work item is a workable component. Whatever the work which you are done towards the project, that will be called as a work item. Boards, which is like a dashboard where the manager or team leader or your team or client manager can be able to understand where the project is going on, how the project is going on, is there any issues or blockages, like that. Backlogs, it is a kind of project backlogs, sprint backlogs. What is project backlog and what is sprint backlog? If any work is not completed as per the sprint planning, that will be called as, what are the pending, whatever the work item is pending which is not completed in the current sprint planning, that will be called as sprint backlog. Whatever the work which is pending in order to complete the entire project, that will be called as project backlog. Sprint is nothing but a timeline frame which we are going to set in order to do the specific tasks. Means whatever the tasks we are doing, whatever the work items we are going to do, we are going to allow some specific timelines, time limits are there. Within the time limits we need to finish those tasks. Queries, so here if your manager wants to understand some kind of have queries, so he just want to filter the work. So there are a lot of things in the boards, so out of those he just want to pull the individual work or teamwork or blockages or issues. So based on the filter he set, accordingly he will get the required output. So in this way We are going to work on each and every service, like we had discussed up to now on board service. On board service we have these are the sub services which are available on the board services. So in this way we are working on this board service. Okay guys, hope you guys understood what the flow is going on, everything. Okay, and in the next session we are going to discuss about creation of project by using Agile work item process. Okay guys, until signing off, thank you, bye bye.